What is going on, everyone? How are you doing? I hope you're doing good, because it is good to feel good. Now, just over a year ago, I did one of those DNA tests where, you spit into a jar, or into a vial rather, and then you send it off, and then you wait about, a certain amount of time to get your results. I mean, I was quite fortunate because mine were able to come back within about 3 weeks, and of course I did that video with my mum where we found out my results. In fact, here's a little look at what happened last time.
Finn! He does like Ikea and he loves meatballs. Oh my god, and we know ABBA.
Yeah.
Knowing me,
oh,
knowing
gosh.
you.
So, you said that I wouldn't have a Scandinavian link. This proves it.
Finn!
Can we stop the stereotypes? So the suggestion here is that I am off, like... So... I don't know what's going into.
Oliver Bjorn Walker.
Recently, I received an email from Ancestry saying that my results had in fact been updated. So, whereas before I had all of those results and it wasn't really that broad, it is a bit more kind of spaced out now, and there's a few more things that they've said that have popped up. So I thought to, for a video, let's go and review them. So, yeah, got my laptop, my lovely little laptop, and I guess without further ado, let's have a look at my new DNA results, I guess. Okay, so we have just logged into Ancestry, and here on DNA it's showing my DNA story. So already I can see a massive jump up from last time. A lot has changed. There's about 5 in there now, so there's Scotland, there's England, and there's 3 others. So I guess without further ado, let's see what this DNA story is going to tell me today. So, this has changed quite a fair bit. So, as I say, last time I got 71% English and Welsh, 18% Irish and Scottish, and then finally 11% Swedish, and that has all changed. So there's still bits of it in there, but again, a lot has changed. So let's go and review all of these. So first of all, we're going to start at the top, starting off strong in fact, as the highest, 46% Scottish, and that, as opposed to last time where it was just 18%, I think the one thing that I've noticed that Ancestry do is, so obviously your DNA sample is on file for forever really, and they can do more tests over time and they can find out new estimates, hence why I received this, updated list of results. So 46% Scottish, with its centre in the northern third of the island of Great Britain, stretching down to Brittany and France. Our Scotland ethnicity region is known for its geographical beauty, medieval architecture and folklore. Gaelic and Scots have influenced regional English dialect and are both still spoken in some areas. National symbols include the lion rampant, clan tartans and bagpipes, often recognised internationally alongside symbols of traditional cuisine like whiskey and haggis. And if I've offended any Scottish people doing that, I do apologise. Anyway, next up we have 44% England and Northwestern Europe. Of course, I am English, I was born in this country, and last time, of course, it was 71% combined with Welsh, but it's gone down a bit now, so let's see what we are. The history of Britain, the heart of our England and Northwestern Europe region, is often presented as one group of invaders after another displacing the native population. The Romans, the Anglo-Saxons, the Vikings and Normans all left their mark on Britain both politically and culturally. However, the story of Britain is far more complex. In fact, modern studies suggest that the early populations weren't wiped out, but were adapted and absorbed the new arrivals. I don't know why I've just put on a voice there as if I'm doing some kind of documentary, but yeah, no, it's interesting, it's amazing to think that, as I say, the results all change over time, and it's nice to see that, that I'm not as strong Scottish, in fact, not as strong as English. Although going back to Scottish, I remember my mum saying last time that my Scottish side comes from like my granddad's side, and also and like, you know, they descended from Scots, so that plays well into, you know, this result potentially. Anyway, after this we have 5% Wales. The rolling hills and steep... I can't do a Welsh accent. The rolling hills and steep cliffs bound by England to the east and 870 miles of coastline on the north, where north, west and south make up our Wales population region, or Cymru in Welsh. Plaid Cymru. Which is still spoken here. First settled by Celtic tribes, the country's ancient and medieval history has been preserved and woven into a modern sense of Welsh identity and pride. Don't be shit, be talented. Which is still visible in the country's 600 castles and its Welsh language media, and its, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that, festivals that celebrate do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that the longest like named place in the United Kingdom that is in Welsh, but I'm not going to try and attempt to pronounce it. Anyway, festivals that celebrate Wales' long tradition of literature, poetry and music, so that's quite beautiful, that is. Anyway, on to elsewhere from Great Britain, we have 3% Sweden. So last time, of course, this was 11% Swedish, and now it's changed. It's crazy. With its rocky coastline, wooded uplands and subarctic mountainous terrain, our Sweden region emerged from glacial ice as a rugged land of lakes and islands. The Swedish people share a common Norse heritage with Norway and especially Denmark that includes language, religion and art, but they eventually developed a culture of their own. Situated north of the Baltic Sea, geographic isolation from conflicts raging on the European continent did not stop the Swedes from influencing the culture, trade and politics of regions from the Volga River to Byzantium. And let's not forget, one of the biggest cultural impacts of Sweden is, of course, IKEA. Thank you very much. And then there's a new one on here as well, and that is 2% Germanic Europe. So that's crazy to think, you know, like, you know, I had those results before, but then now I've got something brand new that I didn't really anticipate. So it potentially says that I've got German ancestors, which I don't necessarily know about. If I do, this is just an estimate, by the way. So this is crazy. But anyway, the dramatic landscape of our Germanic Europe region rises from Dutch and German lowlands along the North Sea through forested uplands to Austria's Alps in the south. The German people were united by language and culture before Germany became a united country in 1871, known as Das Land der Dichter und Denker, the land of poets and thinkers. Germany is home to some of the oldest universities in the world, and this region has a long tradition of producing world-class scientists, inventors, theologians, I can't pronounce that word, I'm so bad, artists and composers. And then as well with my ethnicity estimate, there's also additional communities which suggests, like, you know, where my ancestors have lived like in the past few hundred years. So there's two that come up, and they're both direct me to New England. So the first one is early New England settlers and then northern New England settlers. So anyway, let's look at early New England settlers. So by the turn of the 18th century, Britain's North American colonies were well established on land purchased from, negotiated for, or fought with Native Americans or French troops. Puritans had been emigrating to the Massachusetts area since the 1600s, and by the mid-18th century, groups have spread to surrounding areas. Many families stayed in an area for generations and helped turn New England into an industrial powerhouse in the 19th century. Others headed west, spreading to the Yankee legacy of hard work, community, and spirituality. So that's one look at that. And then there's also northern New England settlers, so and let's have a look at this. So southern Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. So, as settlers poured into New England, the Scots-Irish in particular flocked to colonies like Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine. Many were either farmers or craftspeople, and they spread out along the New England coastline and into the frontier, and then later into Canada. Oh, Canada! By the late 19th century, many were moving to cities for work. Overall, New Englanders were fishermen, shipbuilders, artisans, and farmers, influenced by their religious backgrounds. They emphasized community and education wherever they moved. So I really like that, and I just think it's pretty cool knowing, you know, where my ancestry kind of lies now, because, you know, I have, you know, potential Viking ancestry, or like just general Scandinavian ancestry, potential German ancestry, and then of course I have ancestors who emigrated across the Atlantic and into New England. I think that's quite interesting to kind of find out, and, you know, potentially if I ever go down the route of genealogy, then I can kind of trace that back even more and see just like where it goes, really. So this is quite cool, and I like this. So I think I might just do that one day, like trace up my family tree. I mean, I've done a kind of brief like family tree from like the last few generations of my family and like extended family, but I feel like I want to do a bit more, so that will be on the table for one day. So I look forward to doing that, and I'm going to leave you here now, guys, and if you've ever done one of these DNA tests, then let me know some crazy results that you got, so I look forward to hearing those. But anyway, I'm going to leave now, and then I'm also going to leave you with some advice, and that is always to enjoy yourself, stay safe, and make the most of every opportunity that comes your way. Thank you for watching, and peace!